Imagine feeling the world vibrate with new energy, as if everything around you gained life and intensity. We're going to talk about a wave of light that's about to raise our frequency. A time is coming when the energy will become very high, and only those prepared will realize the transformation that this brings. In this video, you will discover what this new frequency of light means, how it impacts our state of mind, and what to do to tune into this change. Prepare yourself for an eye-opening and empowering journey. Don't blink. You won't want to miss this energetic lift. The world vibrates in an invisible symphony that few can hear, but is becoming deafening to those who dare to listen. The call of light is the name of this frequency that, in an unexpected and unprecedented way, reaches us in the 21st century. But why now? At a point where humanity struggles between technological advances and spiritual disconnection, an energy emerges that does not ask for permission. She invades. This energetic intensity marks a greater alignment where the past, filled with forgotten rituals and mystical wisdom, collides with our chaotic present. We live in times of transition, a bridge between the old and the emerging. Civilization may boast of its achievements, but universal energy, this intangible source, reminds us of our smallness. According to traditions that date back to the Egyptians and native cultures from various parts of the world, moments of intense energetic elevation are triggers for collective awakening. Some call this waking up from the matrix, a recognition that reality is more malleable and deeper than the tangible. For others, it is the manifestation of a larger cycle, similar to Mayan prophecies that speak of ages of light and shadow. What makes this moment particularly unique is the acceleration of global consciousness. It's no coincidence that more people are turning to practices like meditation, breathing techniques, and searching for meaning. Everything points to an almost intuitive recognition that something is at stake. It's as if a part of us, the part that carries the genetic memory of our ancestors, whispers that we are in the midst of a cosmic event. This energetic intensity can also be uncomfortable. Symptoms of unexplained tiredness, abrupt mood changes, and a sense of urgency are common. This is not a whim of the moment, but the resonance of a frequency that calls for internal adjustments and forces us to face the shadows we avoid. The call of light comes not only to illuminate, but to challenge us to transcend what we think we are. So, why now? Because we are on the threshold of a new cycle, an era where the spiritual and the material collide and merge at an inflection point. Who responds to the call? Only those who dare to see, those who are willing to accept that, in the midst of chaos, a new harmony is about to emerge. Imagine the universe as a living mirror that reflects and amplifies every intention we project. This is the principle that guides the energetic boomerang effect. It is not just a law of return. It is an echo of the very essence of life. We face an energy cycle that not only gives back, but does so in an intensified way, exposing truths that we often try to avoid. In a world where the ethereal intertwines with our everyday existence, realizing how our actions and thoughts impact this invisible web is fundamental. Our ancestors understood this intuitively. Ancient sages already spoke about the energy that surrounds each action. In times where humanity experiences an increase in vibrational intensity, the energetic boomerang is not an abstract concept, but an inescapable reality. It's as if the universe itself was adjusting its frequency, causing everything we emit, emotions, words, intentions, to come back multiplied. This energetic amplification requires deep reflection. What type of energy are we sending to this return field? Those who project fear, doubt, and selfishness may encounter marked challenges, but those who courageously emit compassion, clear intent, and truth receive back a clarity and strength they have not experienced before. This is the era of enhanced feedback, where there is no room for neutrality. It's not a cosmic whim, but a bold reminder that the universe operates in resonance. Therefore, understanding the boomerang effect goes beyond spirituality. It is recognizing that we are in a cycle where the response to our actions is immediate and powerful. This cycle demands attention and responsibility, a call to conscience that challenges anyone who is willing to face this expanded truth and live according to it. At the threshold of modern understanding, where the tangible gives way to the ethereal, there is a frequency of light that transcends logic and awakens what I call the overactivated senses. This light, with an intensity that seems to defy the very physics of the visible, not only illuminates, but expands. We are talking about an activation that provokes a new perception of the world around us, an experience that goes beyond the five senses, crossing barriers that traditional science hesitates to recognize. The new light awakens in us abilities that have remained dormant for eons, a sharper intuition, an empathy that transcends the superficial, and an almost prophetic ability to read the hidden patterns of reality. These abilities are not tricks or supernatural abilities. They are forgotten facets of human consciousness, genetic reminders of a time when we were more connected to the essence of the universe. For some, this activation appears as a sudden sensitivity to other people's energy, an ability to feel the environment as a living, pulsating being. For others, it is the ability to perceive synchronicities, coincidences that seem shaped by a greater intelligence. It is as if our bodies are readjusting to a new vibrational harmony, tuning into frequencies that, until then, seemed reserved for visionaries and mystics. But make no mistake, this overactivation of the senses can be overwhelming. It requires balance and discernment, as perceiving more also means carrying more. It is a call to those who have the courage to look beyond surfaces, to explore this new sensory dimension without fear of what they will find. And in the dance between light and shadow, we find a truth. Evolution is not for the passive. Anyone who dares to navigate these new sensory waters discovers that the invisible has always been there, awaiting the attentive gaze of the bold. Time, this concept that we believe to dominate, reveals another face when we go through energetic peaks. What is perceived as linear and constant begins to unravel into a mosaic of stretched or compressed moments. Time runs different in periods of high energy intensity is not just a metaphor. It is a real phenomenon that challenges our perception and shakes the foundations of reality. This experience, common in deep spiritual practices and reported by mystics from various eras, has gained prominence among those who experience intense transitions, such as deep meditations, spiritual retreats, or even significant astrological events. But why does this happen? The answer lies in the fluid nature of our consciousness. During energetic peaks, our mind can operate in an altered state, where the perception of time does not follow the rigidity of a clock, but is shaped by the waves of energy that surround us. An intense experience can seem like an eternity, while trivial minutes evaporate in the blink of an eye. It's as if the mind, for a brief moment, tunes into a different temporal flow, a reminder that time as we know it is more elastic than we dare believe. Accounts of changing perception of time are numerous, from the ancient writings of Tibetan sages to modern narratives in meditative study groups. Many speak of sensations where seconds seem like hours and of perceptions that escape the limitations of the physical world. This is not a journey without foundations. It is a sign that, in high states of energy, our brain processes information in more subtle layers, where time is a more malleable concept, governed by laws that escape common logic. Therefore, these energy peaks not only provoke us to rethink our chronology, but to explore the potential of a living time, which pulses according to our emotions and our ability to absorb the surrounding energy. For those willing to challenge what they understand as reality, discovering that time runs different is opening a door to a greater understanding of the universe and oneself. The most powerful transformation is the one that happens without fanfare, challenging our perceptions of the visible and tangible. The silent transformation driven by a new frequency of light that permeates our existence, is a phenomenon that escapes the hasty eye and the skeptical mind. This light does not arrive with bangs or dramatic revelations, but rather as a whisper that shapes, adjusts, and transforms. We are talking about a frequency that operates in the gaps, in the small adjustments that, when added together, have the capacity to rewrite our biology. When I mention that this frequency can change our biology, I am not evoking miracles. I'm referring to the subtle realignment of our cells, the change in hormonal production that responds to energy fluctuations, the impact on our microbiota that influences everything from mood to immunity. It is the dance between our subtle and physical bodies, where every movement is registered but rarely understood. This process, often intangible, is being noticed by those who have the sensitivity to recognize that something profound is moving beneath the surface. The signs of this transformation may seem small: a new mental clarity, a stronger resistance to stress, or even an intuition that becomes sharper. Studies of the Schumann resonance and the Earth's electromagnetic changes suggest that we, as bioelectric beings, are profoundly affected by changes in the field around us. The new frequency of light puts us in tune with a higher rhythm, adjusting us to a vibration that previously escaped our understanding. Understanding this transformation is accepting that change may be silent, but its impact resonates in every cell, in every fiber of our being. It doesn't ask for permission. It just acts, and whoever has the courage to feel, to open up to these nuances, discovers that true evolution rarely makes a sound. It is in the silences that the new harmony of life is formed, reconfiguring reality one perception at a time. The supermoon is not just an astronomical spectacle. It is at its peak a portal to the unknown, a point of convergence where the ethereal touches the real in an almost palpable way. As the moon approaches Earth, its more intense light and heightened gravity trigger more than obvious physical effects. They act as catalysts that alter our perception and vibrate at a frequency that seems to open doors to other realities. And in these moments, the line between the mundane and the transcendental becomes tenuous, almost a provocation for those who have the courage to explore. The portal that the supermoon draws in our skies is not a literal corridor, but rather an expanding state of consciousness. Many report more vivid dreams, out-of-body experiences, and razor-sharp intuition during these times. These are not coincidences. They are remnants of an ancient understanding that cultures around the world recognized. The moon, especially at its peak, is a conduit for mystery. Amplified energies open gaps in our perception, allowing glimpses of other dimensions, spaces that defy our understanding, where time is fluid and space is an illusion. But why do few dare to explore this portal? Because it doesn't come without risks. Dealing with intense energies requires a balance that cannot be achieved with superficiality. It is like a calling that tests the strength of the spirit, asking for courage to navigate the unknown and return with wisdom, not confusion. This type of experience can be disconcerting, especially if we find ourselves unprepared for the intensity of the revelations that accompany it. Understanding the supermoon as a door to the unknown is accepting that, amidst the brightness and shadow, there are unexplored possibilities that echo hidden truths. And if you are willing to face what lies beyond the veil, you may discover that these dimensions are actually forgotten parts of who we are, waiting for the right moment to emerge. It is in this act of courage and openness that the essence of awakening lies. The cycle of energetic awakening is a journey that few understand, but many feel. From fall to rise is not just a metaphor. It is a visceral experience that accompanies those who venture into the exploration of the invisible. Imagine an emotional roller coaster where, before touching the heights of clarity and understanding, you plummet into the depths of inner chaos. This is the essence of awakening, a process that first deconstructs and then reconstructs. During phenomena such as the supermoon, which amplifies energy and intensifies vibrations, it is common to feel an unusual emotional charge. Those going through this cycle find themselves in a state of contradictory flows. Euphoria followed by deep introspection, inspiring insights interspersed with moments of doubt. This happens because the energy that fuels this awakening is raw and uncontrolled, requiring us to confront our shadows, the unresolved parts of ourselves. This initial fall, which many mistake for a setback, is actually the harbinger of the rise. The body and mind need to adjust, reconfiguring old patterns and clearing energetic blockages. Stability comes, but not before facing the abysses of consciousness. Only by accepting this process as part of the cycle, a dance between light and shadow, can we emerge stronger, with a clearer understanding and a balance that only experience can provide. Thus, each fall ceases to be an end and becomes the foundation of the next rise. Living fully in the now is where true strength lies. This is the moment when you absorb, understand, and transform. Share in the comments a powerful word to manifest your intentions. May this be your anchor of light and presence. There is a light that transcends its function of illuminating and touches the most subtle fibers of the being. The light that heals is a concept that goes beyond what the eyes capture and what scientists dissect. This light, especially when amplified by events like the supermoon, is not just an astronomical phenomenon. It carries a resonance that affects our physical and emotional bodies. Ancient cultures, from the Egyptians who revered Ra to the Tibetan monks who meditate under the light of a full moon, understood that light has properties that can restore and balance. But what is the science implied here? Although I don't name it directly, light frequencies are known to affect biological processes. Phototherapy, for example, uses specific lights to treat conditions such as seasonal depression and skin problems. If we extrapolate this premise, it is not difficult to imagine how a supermoon, an intense and vibrant source of natural light, can enhance internal healing processes. The lunar glow has an energetic frequency that, according to reports and subjective experiences, seems to awaken states of peace, introspection, and purification. This light acts as a catalyst that unlocks repressed emotions, an effect seen in people who report sudden crying or emotional relief under the light of the supermoon. The human body, a bioelectric being, responds not only to changes in sound frequency, but also to variations in light. It is as if each cell were a small mirror, absorbing and reflecting the energy received, realigning itself with a greater rhythm. The healing power of light is both physical and metaphysical, touching what makes us up beyond the flesh. And as with all true healing, it requires openness and intention. Those who set out to receive this light with purpose find more than relief, finds the reordering of his being. This is the forgotten key. The cure that does not begin with pills or procedures, but with a simple gesture of exposing yourself and letting the light act, penetrating where you need it most. The night shines differently in certain parts of the world, where the energy intensifies as if responding to an ancestral call. These places, often full of history and natural magnetism, react more strongly to light waves emanated by phenomena such as a supermoon. This is not just a visual issue, but a vibration that reverberates in earth and bodies, as if the ancient sanctuaries and mountains whisper their answers to the cosmos. Cultures over the centuries have recognized these sites, from Mayan temples to Stonehenge, as portals of interaction between light and consciousness. At these points, the energy seems to dance, intensifying perceptions and provoking a deeper connection with the invisible. There is something about the dawn that goes beyond stillness. It is a stage for the night rituals of power, where the energy of the world rests and those who dare to tune in can access a higher state of consciousness. These moments of energetic peak, amplified on supermoon nights, are rare opportunities for deep connection with the invisible. The dawn, with its silence that almost vibrates, acts like a portal. This is when the noise of life stops and the barriers between the conscious and the ethereal become permeable. Practices such as meditation, rhythmic breathing, and even subtle movements such as Tai Chi or intuitive dancing take on a different dimension in this light. The supermoon intensifies vibrations, making it easier to perceive insights and release held-in emotions. Stories from mystics and shamans speak of the hour of wolves, the period in which dreams mix with wakefulness and intuition manifests itself without filters. The key to enjoying these rituals is clear intention. The mind must be open but focused to capture what the early morning energy offers. Small gestures, such as lighting a candle or chanting mantras, help anchor the experience, giving shape to the invisible. The result is a broadening of consciousness, a recognition that the nighttime moment is a mirror, reflecting the power we carry but often forget. The guardians of the new frequency are not mythological figures or characters from ancient tales, but people and beings that live among us, aligned with an energy that transcends everyday life. They are those who, without much announcement, feel, absorb, and retransmit a new vibrational wave that permeates our time. You can find them in the most unexpected places. Teachers, healers, artists, or even strangers who cross your path and leave an undeniable impact. These people function as energetic anchors, tuning and stabilizing the frequency that many are still beginning to perceive. What characterizes a guardian is the ability to act as a mirror, reflecting the dormant potential in others. It's not uncommon that, when talking to one of them, you feel a sudden clarity, an understanding that seemed impossible seconds before. This interaction is not mystical without substance. It is the result of a state of presence and deep connection with the energy that flows through all of us. During peaks of intensity, such as those provided by the supermoon, these guardians become even more noticeable, radiating a force that resonates with the increased light. But how do you connect with them? Firstly, it is necessary to cultivate genuine openness. These guardians are drawn to pure intentions and the pursuit of spiritual growth. Participating in meditation groups, spiritual retreats, or communities that value expanding consciousness are ways to find and recognize these individuals. There are also those who believe that beings from other dimensions, subtle energies if you prefer, are part of this guard, offering assistance that many intuit but few clearly perceive. Connecting with guardians is ultimately a reflection of your own alignment. The call is not to follow someone, but to recognize that you too carry this potential frequency. It's about exploring that resonance, allowing the interactions and teachings to awaken you to a new perception of yourself and the world. During the energy transition we are experiencing, a remarkable phenomenon occurs: visions and revelations. These experiences are not mere creations of the subconscious, but responses to a change in the frequency that surrounds us, a sign that the mind is tuning into new waves of perception. Those who experience these visions often report dreams so vivid that they seem to break the boundaries between sleep and wakefulness. These moments are punctuated by prophetic insights, glimpses of a greater reality that transcend the linearity of time. But what triggers these experiences? Energetic peaks like those of a supermoon, where the gravitational force and intensity of natural light are amplified, create an environment conducive to these revelations flourishing. The human body, with its sensitive bioelectricity, responds to these variations like a radio that, for an instant, captures higher frequencies. This is when, in dreams, messages appear that seem like prophecies or images that echo with ancient and universal symbolism. Reports from people who go through these experiences speak of feelings of clarity, as if they were receiving instructions that guide the next step in their personal journeys. It is not uncommon for these visions to bring comfort in times of doubt, like an invisible hand guiding through the darkness. Some cultures see these dreams as signs of ancestry, a reminder that we are more than the sum of our earthly experiences. We are heirs to a cosmic memory. To open to these revelations, a state of conscious receptivity is necessary. The practice of writing down dreams when you wake up, meditating before bed, and intentionally seeking insights can increase sensitivity to these messages. It is important to remember, visions do not come to impress, but to communicate what our logical mind still hesitates to accept. Accepting and exploring these revelations is recognizing that there is a wisdom that transcends words, challenging us to hear the whisper of the invisible amid the noise of everyday life. The age of now challenges us to live in a state of absolute presence, something that sounds simple but requires courage and discipline. In S world, where the past holds us back and the future distresses us, the present is an underestimated portal. Being in the now means aligning yourself with the new energetic intensity that passes through us, capturing insights that only arise when we abandon distractions. During events like the supermoon, the intense light asks us to be open receptors, without mental resistance. Understanding this energy is more than a practice. It is a return to essence, a reminder that true power only exists in the present lived with intention. Living fully in the now is where true strength lies. This is the moment when you absorb, understand, and transform. Sign up for more journeys like this and share a powerful word in the comments to manifest your intentions. May this be your anchor of light and presence.